My name is Emily.
And I'm Summer.
And this is the Best Friend Chronicles.
The podcast where friendship meets entertainment.
From sharing memories to making new ones, we'll let you in on what it's like to be best friends forever. So this is the Best Friend Chronicles podcast. My name is Emily and this is
Summer.
And basically, we wanted to create a podcast because we've been friends for so long and thought, why not share our friendship and what we've been experiencing for years and years with people who want to listen. Whether you have friends, don't have friends, you can be in our friend group. It's just us two.
Yeah.
Yep. So, how long have we been friends is something that a lot of people at least ask me, like at work, they'll say, how long have you been friends with your friend? We've known each other since 6th grade. We're 22. So, do the math, because we can't.
It's a long time. I can't ever figure it out.
So, over 10 years.
Yeah, definitely.
And we met while we were in the 6th grade. Her older brother, my older sister, dated. And then we had a class together. We had science class together. And we kind of just decided from there, friends. And then they eventually broke up. We still stayed friends. And we've been friends for over 10 years.
Sisters before misters.
Exactly.
Lasts longer.
Yes. And so we met in school.
No, I remember in that class, like, I just met you. So we were kind of like, are we friends? I don't know. But then that one guy was picking on you. And I was like, dude, it's like he was calling you a racist because that's what kids did back then. And I was like, she's not a racist. And then I got in trouble. I was like, yeah, whatever. I didn't care.
Yeah.
But I think that started it, I guess.
And I kind of got continuous, and then I just looked at Summer, and she's like, stop. And the teacher's like, Summer, you can read, thinking she wasn't paying attention, and then she didn't know. And the kid actually was like calling you a racist.
Yeah, then he kept talking, and she's like,
yeah,
whatever your name is, stop. And I was like,
yeah. There was that. And then 7th grade was 7th grade. I don't remember really much 7th grade.
I don't really well, so I won't remember until high school.
You have good short term, I have good long term.
Yeah.
And then 8th grade was just 8th grade.
I don't remember.
I remember there was an incident. I started my period.
Oh, yeah.
And I panicked because I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And then I wrote a note to you and I sent it to you because we had a guy teacher.
Oh, yeah. He's kind of cute, too.
Yeah.
So,
and so I passed you a note. And I remember writing in the note, I was like, Summer, I'm too scared. Because I didn't know what was going on. I was freaking out. And I said, can you walk me to the nurse? I'm going to lie and say I was dizzy. So I told the teacher and I was like, I'm dizzy. Can someone walk me to the nurse? And I remember walking to the nurse. And you said, I told you, I was like, I'm panicking. And you're like, it's okay. It's going to be fine. And then you walked me to the nurse. And I was like, that moment I was like, wow, she's a really good friend.
I got it early. I didn't have like a lot of body weight, but I did. And I was like, sucks. I remember, I think I had it like 7th grade.
Yeah, you told me, like, I got mine in 7th grade and it's okay. And I was like, okay. And it just, like, really freaked me out. And you were very nice. And that's when I knew that, like, oh, she could be a good friend. But that's not the reason why I knew you'd be my friend. I knew you were a good friend because you liked me when I was at my ugliest.
I don't see why that matters, but I don't know.
It matters to some people.
Kids are mean, yeah. I didn't have very many friends either, but I never cared, so.
Yeah. I had some friends that said, you know, when I would get in fights with them, they called me ugly, and that was only a reason to get out of the house. That's the only why they hang out with me. Yeah. So knowing that Summer was there when I was my quote-unquote ugliest, that's how I knew she was a real friend because she didn't care what I looked like. And then high school was high school.
Oh, yeah. We had notebook. Every year we had a notebook, and they were full. Like, those 150-page spirals, like, we had to take 2 sometimes.
That was front and back college rule.
Man, the stuff we complained about was hilarious now when you read it. Like,
we should definitely go on here and reread some of them and share.
Because some of this stuff is like, why did we write that? Like, who cares? But at the time, it was really important.
Exactly. And it's kind of cool to, like, probably look back on and because you have them all in your possession.
Yeah, you can't leave them with you. You're not safe.
And then we also wrote notes to each other. We wrote notes.
Oh, yeah. I had two shoe boxes full of notes. And,
And then we went to college together.
And we got phones, and we never wrote notes anymore.
Yeah,
I tried. True. I think I tried, and it was like, we just text.
Well, we got cell phones pretty late.
Yeah, we didn't get, someone still had, like, high school. I didn't get an iPhone. That was my first phone, was an iPhone. I didn't get it till high school.
I got an emergency phone, but I never really text on it because we had our iPods. And
Yeah,
then
iPod Touch, I guess. Yeah, we
Text Now, yeah.
Too. Oh yeah, good old Text Now. You can still use it. It's still running, so
Yep.
that's good for them.
But we got our iPhones in junior year. You got yours first, and I got mine a little bit later.
Yeah, it was super exciting. I had the pink one.
Mm-hmm.
You got the yellow one.
I got a yellow
yeah,
one,
we both got 5Cs. It was super cool.
You wanted me to get a pink one to match you, but I really wanted yellow.
It was a nice yellow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then we went to college together, attended the same school.
Yeah, only had a few classes together.
Yeah.
Different interests.
Yeah, then I graduated and you graduated, and now we're both graduated. And that's layman's terms, SparkNode version of our friendship.
Mm-hmm.
We had study hall together, though. Was a big one that we had in high school.
Our high school they decided we'll try like all these different schedules. They're on like their 5th different one now, but they do rotating like 7th period. So if you had study hall 6th period and then it would be 7th period and now it's double whatever, you'd be in the same classroom for 3 hours. And I was like, dude, I'll just get into your study hall because was my crush in that class? Or was that like the other year?
No.
Yeah, so I was like, well, I'll go in there so that way I'll be with you for 3 hours every like once a month whenever it happened. And I got in there and that teacher loved to hate us.
Yep, that was junior year. And then senior year we were able to get the same study hall teacher and everything. Mm-hmm. And we had it for that schedule again, so we had study hall for 3 hours again one day.
Yeah, every now and then it would happen, but
yeah.
I didn't mind it because we would just talk for 3 hours. She would be like, "Girl, stop," and we'd be like, "Okay, we'll stop."
Yeah, I remember we sat alphabetical, so since where our last names are, I was in the front, you were in the back more.
Yeah.
And then basically she'd be like, "Okay, do homework," and I just get up and walk to Summer.
Because no one would like. There was in front of me or behind me, they like never came or whatever. Yeah. So I was just like, "Move over here."
And then when the teacher would be like, "What are you doing?" I'd be like, "Oh, she's helping me study," and literally we're not studying at all. And so we had study hall together. We had journalism together.
Yeah, I did. That was the worst class.
That's my first C I ever gotten. My first and only C.
I've never gotten a C. That class. It was hard for some reason.
I don't think it was. I think it's because we were both in the class
together. We did French. We took French together, and we didn't almost.
I think we learned from our mistake.
I don't know.
Yeah, we were in French together. Yeah. That was one thing. I only know one thing I remember the most from there is a la montagne, and that's a mountain.
That's it. I remember I got a bloody nose in there, and I did it calmly because I'm used to getting bloody noses at this point. And then the teacher's like, "Oh my God, did someone have a bloody nose? Is there a pen break?" And I was like, "Yeah, my nose was bleeding." She's like, "Oh my God, leave me alone! Don't put me on blast for my bloody nose."
That was an interesting teacher. She's very interesting. And then we had adult roles. That was another class we had together.
We got to plan a wedding.
We planned a wedding, and then there was a girl that at the end of I remember it was the end of what popped up on my computer. And we also had adult roles together where we had to budget a wedding, so that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we got credit for that class. Like, it was a very just do what you want class, and it was a really old, like, grandma lady teacher, and everyone got an A.
She called our houses and wanted to compliment us and tell our parents that we were good kids. Because there was a lot of mean kids in there, and it was because she was an older lady, so they kind of...
they took advantage of her.
Yeah. And I remember there was this girl in our class who wanted to study for finals, and we were watching the movie because really there was no finals, and so the teacher turned off part of the lights, and the girl's like, "Can you keep the lights on? I'm trying to study." And then Summer's like,
I'm like, "You on your phone?"
And then she's like, "Oh, and you guys like, I thought y'all were gonna fight in her."
Because like under my breath, I was like, "How are you just on your phone the whole time?" And she's just like,
"I'm not on my phone. I'm actually trying to study." And so I was like, "Summer, stop! You're getting into a fight." And like, I feel like part of you in high school like wanted to fight someone.
I did. I was very angry. I'm still a very angry person. I was very like, I wouldn't have cared. I've been like, dude, like I saw you on your. And
then when she put the lights on, she was on her phone. Yeah,
like, so it doesn't matter. You just wanted the lights on, so she couldn't see you're on your phone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I wasn't playing.
Then we had econ together. No, government. We had government together.
Oh, yeah.
That was an interesting class.
Yeah, she purposely put us on opposing teams.
I hated that so much.
Because we agreed on, like, everything. And then she knew we were best friends. And she's like, haha, I'm totally going to do this. So they have to argue with each other.
And our topic was the death penalty. Mm-hmm. And at the time, my viewpoint was one way and yours was the other. And it
My
was,
team was kind of mean.
yeah,
towards
your team
the
was
end.
very mean, and I didn't like it. I got up and I remember I yelled at a kid, and then
Yeah.
everyone started laughing at me, and I just stopped talking the whole debate. And I had to do the
Yeah.
closing argument, and I was mad because the girl who was like the team leader with me on my topic, she's like, I'm gonna do the opening argument because I can't wing it for the ending argument. I'm like, me either, but she was like a dum-dum, so she's like, I gave
She's
it
gonna
to
be
her.
a teacher now, I'm pretty sure.
I'm terrified.
She is a teacher. She taught already.
And I remember I had to do a closing argument, and I just like could not think of anything, and I was so embarrassed because some kid in there that I liked was watching, and it was just horrible.
High school was
Yeah,
probably everyone.
I'd
had
redo
that
it though.
experience. Yeah,
I'd redo it
I
again.
really didn't mind it. High school's the worst. Like, it wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst.
Exactly. I'd go back to high school, and then that's kind of it for school memories that I seem pretty.
Yeah, normal things that happen.
Exactly.
Basically.
We've gone to quite a few concerts together. That's
Yeah,
another thing.
you were the first concert I went to, which was Big Time Rush. Which is
I
funny
remember-
based on the music I listened to at the time.
Yeah.
Like, that was like way out of left field.
I remember
That's
because
cool.
you were doing a notes on Facebook when Facebook had like notes to fill out, and it was like first concert, and you're like, I'm embarrassed to put Big Time Rush. I want something cool to be my first concert, and I'm like, but this was your first concert. You're like, I don't want to put that, and I was like, okay.
I wasn't ashamed. I just thought I would have a better first concert, but no, it was
Clearly
good.
that wasn't a good first concert. No, but that's one thing that we did really bond
Yeah,
over
we
with.
went to all three of their tours.
Hmm.
Hope they come back one day. We'll be there.
I'll
sure.
sell my kidney if I need to.
Yeah, we'll be there.
But Big Time Rush is a big thing we did bond over. We went to that concert together.
Yeah, I remember I showed you them on
Hmm.
on TV. And I remember watching them at my house. I was like, I think you might like this show. We watched it, yeah.
I did. Favorite Big Time Rush member?
Kendall.
I'll go with Logan. I wasn't a Logan
You
fan.
were allowed to like Logan.
I know, but I like him now. Yeah.
You
Logan's
like
my
Kendall, we can
favorite.
share.
I don't know.
On the TV show, it was Logan. You liked the nerdy kid? I don't think
No,
so.
on the TV show I like James, but like IRL.
Well, you said character.
No, who was your favorite Big Time Rush member?
It's still Kendall.
Exactly. I'm gonna go with Logan.
Yeah.
So it's settled. You have Kendall, I have Logan.
Yeah.
But yeah, Big Time Rush concert we went to. We saw Austin Mahone.
Yeah, that one's Larry.
That one was good. We drove all the way to. Well, we didn't. Obviously, we were what 16.
Yeah, I don't know how old.
My dad drove us to Wisconsin to see them.
Him.
Him.
He's one for,
I forgot.
He's gonna blow up though. I guess.
But do you know who opened up for him? Do you remember?
Yes. Fifth Harmony or something like that.
And the Vamps.
I don't
and
remember them.
Shawn Mendes opened up with 3 songs that he only had released. Shawn Mendes opened up for them.
Wow, I don't
Yep.
remember that at all.
Shawn Mendes. It's hard. Like it's like the biggest thing. That's like that's probably the one singer who it's like I saw them before they were big, and I was a fan before they were big. Like it was right out of Vine days where he started releasing music.
Don't remember that at all. I
It was
barely
Shawn-
remember seeing Austin Mahone. But
You
I do
were
remember
really
him.
sick after that, and we got
It
Wendy's.
was very crowded. It was very hot, and I didn't eat, so I was gonna like pass out.
Yeah.
I'm not good at getting prepped for concerts. I'm always.
And you're not good with standing room too much. If
No,
it's,
because I need to sit at some point.
Exactly.
If I'm standing waiting for the concert, and then like
that concert took forever. I remember.
it did, because apparently there was like 4 acts.
I didn't know
don't even
that.
remember.
Yeah.
I don't
And then I
even
remember the Vamps were like, go effing crazy. And this girl lunged behind us and pushed us over. And I grabbed the girl in front of me's like shoulder to not fall. And I turned around. I'm like, what are you doing? And the girl's like, what? And I'm just like, stop.
You can stop this mosh pit.
I
Party
know.
pooper.
I didn't want to mosh at a Vamps concert.
It's so funny. I don't remember that. Wow.
I think the night was a blur for you.
It sure was.
And then we saw Panic 3 times.
We've seen Panic as well 3 times, and I got to shake his hand.
That was
we got
the second time, yep.
some good seats. We weren't front row at all. We were towards the back, but he walks down the aisle for the death walk, for Death Row Badge, and I shook his hand.
And I remember the girls too.
Oh yeah.
The way it was seated, it was girls to the right of us. There was 1 girl, and then to the left was 2.
2 girls. Mm-hmm.
And they tried to sit. Long story short, they were trying to switch seats with us, so we were further away from the aisle.
Yeah, so they could sit by their friends even though it wasn't their seats. And I like low key knowing what's happening at the concert, so I'm like no, because I want to be as close to the aisle as possible. And also like we're in our seats, so I was like, no, we're just gonna stay where our tickets actually say. And they were like, okay. And then they switched with the other girl to sit there. And so then when they actually walked out, I was like,
Yeah.
I got you, because I'm just gonna. These girls in front of me now are shorter, so I'm gonna get to him.
Because it was one of the opening acts, they stopped. And during the opening act, I kept telling you, I was like, I think, like, they put their friends here. We're not going to have our seats. And you're like, well, when the opening act is done, we'll sit. And so we tried to sit. We sat down, and the one girl's like, can you move down? And
Yeah,
we're like,
I was
no.
no, this is where our tickets say, so no. Because I can get real sassy when I need to.
It kind of scares me because I don't want to fight to break out. Because if you fight, like,
though.
I would run. I can't
That
fight.
was legit. You can't argue. I'd get an usher and be like, this is my seat, so, like...
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I made you see Troye Sivan with me.
Yeah, I saw that.
Because I didn't have anyone
I remember it very well. It was recent, so I remember, but I didn't mind it.
Yeah, you recorded it for me, so that was good. And I think, we saw MKTO and Emblem 3. Those are my bands. But Emblem 3 was mine.
3, that's why we went. Or they went.
It was Jackson Gumpy. He opened up.
Who did we go for? All of them, I guess?
Not for Jackson Gumpy. I went for Emblem 3, and you went for MKTO because Tony Aller.
Yeah,
that was like our middle school crush that we both
he was in As the Bell Rings, if anyone remembers
saved as the bell, but no, it was as the bell rings.
As the bell rings!
Exactly.
Demi Lovato was on there, too.
Yeah,
so,
it was that short between TV shows.
Yeah, I remember that. I kicked the chair in front of us, like, really hard, and I got a huge bruise on accident.
That was bad.
It was like an accidental kick. I wasn't, like, going hard or anything.
We went to the Troye Sivan concert years later. And then you're like, wasn't this the same place we saw MKTO? But it wasn't, but it looked like it.
It looked a lot like
crazy.
it. I thought we were in the same place.
It was crazy. So we've been to some concerts together. Won't be our last. We'll see more in the future.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. And we've gone on a few vacations. I would say our first vacation was your 16th birthday to Key Lime Cove.
Oh, yeah, a little weekend getaway.
Yeah. There was 2
lifeguards.
Yeah,
they were cute.
Mine was named Trent.
No, mine was Trent.
What was mine? Sean? No.
Seth?
Seth!
Yeah, mine was Trent. Back off. And we were, like, looking at him, like, the pool was closed, so, like, they were cleaning. Who knows what they were doing out there still. And we were, like, walking up the stairs, and there was, like, a big glass one, and we were looking at him, and then we, like, looked up at him.
And they started waving.
We have a really, really, really grainy picture
of them.
It's probably gone, but yeah.
No, it's still on my old laptop.
I wish we had better... But that was your iPod Touch, because mine didn't have a camera. You got the newer one that had the camera.
Yeah. I remember looking and they waved at us. We were like, oh my god. We were like 16.
Yeah, because my 16th, or was it 17?
It was your 16th, sweet 16. Okay. I have a photo of you on my Instagram that says.
And I'm wearing like a hat and Tara, and I'm like, hey, look at me.
Yeah, but that's not their real names. We just gave up names.
Obviously, we don't know their names. We wouldn't talk.
I remember Trent was a little bit buff and had short brown hair, and Seth was a skinny,
long and lanky,
skinny white dude with blonde hair.
Yeah.
Well, we've been on that one, and then I would say probably the next one would have been Universal.
Yeah.
And then Florida after that. Disney, yep. Duh.
It's like, yeah, we went to Universal, then we went to Florida. Like, they're both in Florida, but yeah, we went to those. I preferred Universal as well. The rides were cooler.
It was cool. I feel like I remember... The weird thing is, it feels like Universal and Disney happened the same year.
It does feel that way.
It's so weird.
It's like you're at the same place, and I'll be like, was this at Disney or Universal? But I can't remember.
And it almost seems like Disney was longer. Like,
it was just on my Instagram story, like memories, and we were only there for like 3 days, I think.
I was 3, yeah.
Which is like really short, and I thought we were there for a long time. But
was
it was
it 3
like,
days? I thought it was 4 days.
I don't know.
Universal was 4 days, I think.
I think we went to Universal longer, like a day longer. I don't remember. That was my first time flying. Was with you too.
Yeah, it was. I remember I asked you. I was like, "See, so if you'll catch on, maybe." Summer doesn't really have too much of an opinion with things. I remember. I was like, "Are you nervous?" And you're like, "No." And I was like, "Are you excited?" And you're like, like sure."
For the
like,
plane ride,
no, like because it was your first time flying. I was like, "Oh, like." Do you want to talk about it? Are you nervous? Like, are you getting excited? You're like, I don't know. It was just a plane ride. And I was like,
yeah, I didn't know what to think. And then I did it, and then my ears kind of hurt. The second plane ride was awful. Like when we went to Disney, because my ear was like really hurting. I was like, this sucks.
My favorite thing was...
I was kind of scared. I didn't want you to know.
My favorite thing was when we were going up on the plane, and you're like, I think I want... Because like, do you want window seat or not?
Yeah.
I was trying to cater to your first time flying, and you're like, I think a window seat would be good. You sat by the window, and we were taking off, and my mom looked back behind us because my mom and dad were with us.
Yeah, they were.
And she's like, oh, like trying to see your expression because it's your first time flying. And you looked out the window and you saw everything moving. And I remember you just turned and you shut the window. You're like, Okay, enough of that. You just shut the window because you're like, I don't want to look.
Sick. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
I don't need to. I do prefer window seat though.
I don't
Every
prefer
time.
flying at all.
Well, yeah. But,
Going in, because last time I flew before that was when I was in the 4th grade.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like single digits. No, I think I was like 10. And then we went, well, that was like our 20th birthday or something like that. Or not 20th birthday, we were 20.
Yeah.
And so, long time. And so I didn't understand the concept of flying too much. But then when we went to Universal, I was like, I'm getting nervous. We flew. I was okay. I was like, this sucks. So the next time around to Disney, I was like, oh, I'll be better. Like, I experienced it a year ago. I'll be fine. Worse, no, I hate it. If we go back on a plane, I'm going to need something for it because it freaks me out so much.
I don't get freaked out. It's just the pain in your ears that no one really warns you about. They're like, chew gum, you'll get some pressure. Like, this was like a knife in my ear, in both ears at one point. Like, it was awful.
I didn't get any ear pain, so that was good. But I think the reason why I didn't like Disney flying was because it was at night. Both flights were at night.
It was at night.
So I'm thinking that might be my problem. Is
I liked it. I saw all the pretty lights, and I was like,
well, darkness kind of freaks me out. And like the plane, they dim their lights, which is cool, but like it kind of freaked me out.
Yeah, because
I think that might have been
sleep.
it.
No, that's okay. Okay, so we have questions, right?
We thought it'd be fun to. I gotta find my answers for them. Oh, we thought it'd be fun to ask 5 questions and answer each other's answers to what we think they are. That sounds confusing, but you'll understand in a second. So the first question, kind of going back to school, was the first name of our school crushes in elementary school, middle school, and then high school.
Ooh, we should have included college. No, we shouldn't.
Oh, yeah, I kind of did have a college crush.
Did you? Oh, I can think of a few.
We went to the library to study, and then I panicked, and I was sweating.
Yeah, okay, yeah, we had a few.
I guess that'd be my college crush.
Kind of. Maybe it'll come to me. Okay,
you want to say?
No, I know what it is. Oh, yeah.
It's Christian with an H.
Yeah. Okay, so for your elementary, I have Trevor.
That's accurate. Yes, I wrote that down.
And then middle school, there's a few, but Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
And then high school, there was also a few, but the main one was Josh.
Yes, that's accurate.
Yeah.
I chose him as my senior.
Yeah, we got to do our senior
crush. I did put his name down, and then I told him about it. He was very sweet about it.
That's good. He's a nice guy.
Yeah. Yeah, he's probably like, this girl again. And I'm just like, just try it, man. I don't know what to do. But for summer, I said your elementary school crush first name was Ethan.
Yeah, I miss him.
Your middle school was Austin.
Yeah.
And your high school was not the same one as mine, but his name was also Ryan.
Ryan is a very common white name.
Yes.
So, yeah. Yeah, he was.
So we did good on that one.
In college, I'll say Christian, but I was going to say Benji.
Stop! No! You can't do that! Yeah, it was a cute kid. Yeah. Alright. So our next one was our biggest fear. Okay. I said your biggest fear is aliens. Because you don't really voice what you're afraid of. I feel like stuff just makes you're like, I don't like that, or
I'll get anxious or uncomfortable. Yeah, I won't be like terrified. But if I saw an alien, I would be terrified.
The biggest thing that freaks you out with anything is aliens. I can't show you a picture of aliens. No. Can't watch a show about aliens.
It depends on what they look like. If they're like monster looking, they're fine. But if they're humanoid, that's
the one thing that I can say. I could probably confidently say you have a fear of.
Okay, for you, I said spiders.
Yep. Did you have any other written down?
Yeah, I said death.
Yes, the second one.
Yeah.
Can you name the other 2 I might have written down?
Oh, no. I'd have to think about it. I don't want to eat up time.
My other one was open water. I would have accepted.
Okay.
And I would have accepted belly buttons.
Oh, yeah.
But I didn't know if that was more of a phobia.
No, that's more of a phobia for sure. Because that's not like... You see
paralyzed.
and you're like, oh my god!
Yeah. But no, open water was the other one. I have like a fear of.
Okay, because sharks.
Yeah.
Okay.
The next question was dream travel spot we have.
Okay, for you, I said Paris. We were like just talking about this. So, yeah, Paris.
I would have accepted Paris or Romania. That was mine too.
Yeah.
Because I'm Romanian. And then yours, I have 2.
Okay.
I didn't put Paris because I didn't think that was your dream spot.
No.
I put Ireland or in London.
Yeah, I said London.
Okay.
Yeah, Ireland would be cool too. Either one.
All right. The next question is movie we would watch every day if we had to.
Yours is the B movie, not ironically or anything legitimate. The Bee Movie.
I did have that one down.
Yeah, there's a few I could think of.
Yeah.
Like that or Shrek.
I didn't have Shrek. No, I didn't have Shrek. I'm just a Shrek fan, yeah.
Maybe Big Fat Liar. Because she used to play every single night.
The reason why she knows is because I could never fall asleep without the TV on.
I hated this.
And so when I was a kid, I had cable in my room. When we moved to my new house, when I was in middle school, I didn't have cable. So I had to put a movie in every night. And so for like 4 to 6 month periods, I would just watch the same movie at night. And Big Fat Liar was one that I would always play at night, and then the Bee Movie. But
if I ever slept over and it was
the Lizzie McGuire movie was another one.
The sound of because I can't sleep and I have insomnia, so she'd fall asleep, and then I don't know how to work a TV player, and I would just repeat the same like stupid 30-second music, and I like lost my mind at night here, man.
The Bee Movie was one I wrote down that I figured you'd guess, but I didn't think you'd guess my actual one.
Okay, what's the actual?
Endless Love. That movie, the newer version.
Okay.
The second it stops, I could immediately rewatch it. I love that one. Yours, I put 13 going on 30.
Oh, no, but that's a good one. That is a classic. Like that.
Oh,
She's the Man.
Oh,
I never ever get tired of that movie.
I forgot about
that movie. Yeah, 13 going on 30 is good. But
I forgot. She's the Man.
Mm-hmm.
That totally went over my head.
Yeah.
It was my fault. And then our last question we had was, what would the person buy? What would the person buy if they were given $100?
Okay, I said a few things, so that means you got $100. I think you would buy a Lace lottery tickets because that's just how you are.
Oh, that's a good one.
Clothes, obviously. And
I didn't put clothes.
Concert tickets, if there happens to be,
I put makeup/skincare because I didn't really know what I would buy, but I think.
Yeah, I almost put makeup.
You knew me better than I knew myself.
Yeah,
I would probably just buy $100.
Yeah, you'd be like, I already got $103. I'll try to win more.
That's a good idea. I thought you would buy desserts.
I did mention food.
Mm-hmm. And then I figured you'd get clothes.
Yeah, I put clothes or Vans. Because I haven't gotten a new pair in a while.
But $100 is only like $200.
It's not that much. But yeah, I would buy food. Yeah. I'd go buy some fancy food for myself.
Yeah. All right, so we did pretty well on that.
Yeah, we did.
Now, the next section we have
I'm scared.
is, because we thought since you guys are getting to know us, we should make sure we know each other.
Yeah.
So I have 5 questions I'm going to ask Summer that I think she should know about me.
Okay.
She hasn't seen these yet.
No.
And I'm going to ask her what they are.
Okay.
My first one, and this is stuff that we've mentioned probably to each other a couple times, if not
I would hope.
a lot.
I was honest with mine.
My first one that I've asked her a couple of times, and she's gotten wrong every single time.
Oh, no.
And the last time I asked you, you said, okay, I'm going to remember it this time. So I want to see if you remember it. So what am I allergic to?
I know it is something medical. It is a medicine you are allergic to. And the only medicine I can think of is penicillin. But I don't... Is it the acetylcholine? What is it?
Amoxicillin.
Oh my god, I don't know my medicines, but I knew it was a medicine, so...
Apparently, I will give you this. I didn't ever get this confirmed, but someone told me amoxicillin is the same thing as penicillin, but I've only been officially diagnosed with being allergic to amoxicillin.
Okay.
Do you remember what happens when I get amoxicillin? I just broke out a really bad rash. My face swells up.
Yeah.
Okay, do you want me to do all my questions first?
Yeah.
Okay. What is the name of my pet fish that I had growing up?
Your first one? Not like a fair one?
Not the fair one. No, like
on Twitter.
No, that was way past.
Okay.
My actual fish that was like my first pet. I'd classify it as. Do you remember his name?
I think his name is Swimmer Junior.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you know why he's named Junior?
Because there was a Swimmer Senior.
Yes. He died 1 hour after I got him from the fair.
Oh my god.
So yes, Swimmer Junior.
Okay. Do
you want a bonus question?
Sure.
That goes, what was the fish that Swimmer Junior killed and drove that fish to suicide? I think.
No idea.
His name was Pucker.
Oh my god. No.
It was Swimmer Junior and Pucker, and Pucker died a week later. Yeah, Pucker died a week later.
Mean, okay.
Swimmer Junior would swim and chase Pucker around the tank. And then one day I just woke up and Pucker was belly up, and I think Swimmer Junior murdered him.
And these were goldfish, not like beta fish.
No, they were goldfish, yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Okay. My next question is, how many tattoos do I have?
Oh, you can cut. I'll just name them so I can. Okay, there's one on your foot.
Uh-huh.
There's one behind your ear.
Okay.
There's a little mini sleeve on your shoulder.
How many's
There's
on there?
a frog
Okay,
and
I'll
some
give you that one.
flowers. I think it's
Okay.
part of the same one.
Okay.
Okay, and then there's the whole back portrait
Okay.
thing. And then there's the one on your other side of your arm too. There's
Okay.
which is also flowers.
Uh-huh. And then what's...
No. What am I forgetting? Give me a clue.
It's a quote. Not a quote, but it's like a saying.
The one that's on your phone.
No, it's the
Oh.
one for Lincoln, my dog that passed away. I'll meet you at the bridge.
Oh yeah.
That's next to my one for my grandpa, the frog, yeah.
It's combined, okay?
I didn't get it at the same time.
I know.
So how many do I have then?
6.
There you go.
Okay. I can't do math sometimes.
Oh. This one I remember we talked about. I asked you it because I said if we're ever on the Newlywed Game and this question comes up, this will be my answer and you have to answer it this way. And you're like, okay, I won't forget.
Oh no! If I ever say I won't forget, I'm.
What was my dream job when I what was my dream job when I was a kid? That if I would have someone said, "Oh, what's your dream job?" What would I have said?
Zookeeper.
No. Well, that was
secret agent.
Yeah, spy. Spy was my thing as a kid.
They were equal to me.
That was my first real job. If I like thought real intensely, it would have been like, oh, my dream job as a kid was to be a spy.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
And then what instrument did I play as a kid?
The clarinet.
No.
Flute.
Yes.
Sorry. It's a wind instrument.
Yeah, the flute was it. I played it from kindergarten to 5th grade.
Because you'll be like, my flute teacher lived in that house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think if you thought longer about that,
I did. It's
you were
because
panicking.
they were the same. Like they're the same.
Not really.
I know they're not.
One's vertically, one's horizontally. Now I'm
Okay.
nervous about your questions.
No, mine. It was so hard for me to think of questions, so I wouldn't worry about it. Okay. Do I possess any strange phobias? Not fears, like the aliens, but just like things that are like. Ooh.
Is this a trick question? Is it gonna be like no?
No.
Okay.
This is real. There's
Phobias.
something. Or it's like something that kind of makes me freak out. Where I'm like.
I think it's anything to do with like touching your eye, looking at close-up images of eyes, because they make your eyes wet. Like if looking at stuff that's wet, makes your eyes like
my eyes water.
Water.
That was now what I was thinking of, but yeah, so, yeah, I was thinking of like wind, like really really heavy wind blowing at me and I can't breathe.
I didn't know
or
that
like blow
really.
dryers. I remember I was like, I hate blow dryers.
I just
because the wind blows in my and I can't breathe. That's why whenever it's really windy, I'm like, oh my god, I can't breathe.
Oh, I thought it was that because sometimes when we watch TV, if someone looks sweaty, you're like, I can't watch that.
Yeah, really like yeah.
Like that kid on Project Runway that was always sweaty looking in his face. You're always like, he's making my eyes.
I don't like the dewy makeup look is not something I like.
Yeah.
If I have a scar, where did I get it from?
Where did you get it from?
Yeah. I know I just
You got it from Ash. You got a scar from Ash, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My cat.
Okay. I got that right.
Okay, so that's what I was like, I know we just talked about that. Okay. What weird, like, rule or myth did I believe that my parents told me when I was growing up?
I think I know this because I remember I was like, no, I think I told you it was wrong.
Oh, well then, I don't know if this is what I'm thinking of, but okay, go for it.
Oh, crap.
I don't know.
What weird myth did your parents tell you?
Like, they told, like, a tall tale that they're like, if you do this, this happens, and I believed it for some reason.
Oh my god. Maybe.
What are you thinking of?
I would have no idea.
You would think of something?
I feel like once you say it, I'd be like, oh yeah, this is what we discussed, but I can't. Can I have a hint?
It had to do with, like, staying up late.
I had no idea.
If I stayed up past midnight, like, watching TV, like, the boogeyman would get me.
Oh.
So I'd have to, like, be in my room by midnight. But it was okay if I was awake in my room at midnight. So why would, like, the boogeyman didn't get me? But if I was, like, out of my room
I'm surprised you believed that.
I think I was pretty young. I don't know what time I stopped believing. I think at one time it was past midnight. I was like, nothing's here.
I feel like I would never have guessed that because of who you are now.
Yeah.
You'd be like, really? You would believe that? Even like if I say something like, oh, I believe this as a kid, you've been like, really? You believe that? And I'm like, I was a kid. And you're like, I wouldn't have believed that. So I'm really shocked about that.
What are you thinking of? That we?
I don't remember. There was something. It wasn't like mythical like that. It was like a legit thing that like people like believe.
I don't remember. If it comes to you, let me know. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What one insect am I actually afraid of? Because it's not spiders. Like, have to kill spiders for her. Bugs usually don't get me, but there's some that are like,
Do you just you're afraid of or you don't like?
That I would like legit. If it was in here, I'd be like, oh, I'd freak out.
I don't think it's ladybugs. You just don't like
scary.
ladybugs.
You might. I don't know if you know.
You don't like
They smell weird.
Okay, that's why.
Yeah, no.
Is it a stink bug?
No.
A centipede. Millipede.
I would be grossed out, but that's not what I'm afraid of.
A bug? Wait, no. Wait, give me a second.
Starts with an S.
An S.
And there has been one in my room before
Cicada?
when I was young. No, those start with a C, and I caught them. I had a pet cicada at one point.
Maybe I don't know you. I'm sorry. I don't know. What is it?
I don't know if you would know. A silverfish. Those things
never
are. You'll have to look them up later. There was one in my room, like my old bedroom, and I like had to like climb like up, and like they like swim on the floor, like they're super fast and you can't get them, and they're terrifying. I've only seen it once in my life, and I never want to see one ever again.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Now you know. Okay.
Is this the last question?
So this is one that I'll like. Sorry. I'll accept 2 flavors, I guess, but like my all-time favorite like flavor of like ice cream or drink or like this is what I actually like.
Strawberry daiquiri. And pina colada.
No, you're okay. just strawberry.
Strawberry. Okay.
I love just classic strawberry, like strawberry milkman.
Okay.
That's stuff.
A strawberry milkman.
Ooh, depends what you look like, I guess. Yeah.
So yeah, strawberry. Okay, what was the other? You said there was 2.
Blue raspberry. You said blue raspberry. I've been like, okay, yeah, because that's any candy. That's blue raspberry.
You
but I'm thinking ice cream. Like, that's my favorite ice cream.
Okay, cool. Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
We did pretty good.
So now we answered questions so you guys would know us. We answered questions about each other. And now we're going to ask questions that we've been wanting to know about one another.
Okay.
So.
Do you want to go first?
I think I'll go first.
Okay.
Was there ever a point in our friendship where you thought we would not be friends? Like, where you kind of, like, was there a long period of time, like a week or something, where, like, I really annoyed you and you're like, I don't want to be friends with you anymore? Or, like, something that just made you, like, not want to be my friend? Or did you think, like, oh, I'll be your friend forever?
I never think ahead of things.
Oh, okay.
So I never was like, I'm going to stop being friends. Or, like, be like, we're not going to be friends. It just was going to run, like, we'll just do whatever we continue to do, and we just never stopped hanging out. So did
you ever think we'd become this close, like when we first started?
I think so because I didn't have.
Oh, stop! You made me cry. All right. Do you want to ask a question?
Okay, sure. No, mine are like suddenly whatever. Your favorite cartoon growing up?
My favorite cartoon growing up.
It doesn't have to. It could just be like one that you remember. Because I don't think mine was when I was growing up, but it's like your favorite cartoon now that you'd like watch that's like an old cartoon.
There's a few. I would probably. There was one that I remember growing up as a kid, but like, it was Maisie the mouse.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that was like my favorite as a kid. I liked Blue's Clues a lot.
Oh yeah, that was a good
I loved Blue's Clues, and I loved Cyber Chase.
Yeah.
Cyber Chase was awesome. Their theme song was a banger.
Yeah, that's like top 10 cartoon theme songs for sure. Yeah.
Cyber Chase was like, if I had to go back and watch one now, it'd probably be Cyber Chase because like it was actually interesting. Blue's Clues was cute. I remember being a Blue's Clues
you can't
fan.
watch that now. No.
I just think like I only liked it when Steve was on there. So yeah, no one liked it when Joe was on there. No, is it Joe?
I don't remember. I stopped watching.
Yeah, but if like my probably one that I really liked was definitely Cyber Chase.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. One question I want to know is, what do you tell people about me? So say, like, for instance, your boyfriend's parents, like, oh, you have a best friend. Her name's Emily? Like, what's she do? What's she like? Like, what would you...
Yeah, if they ask me, like, prompt me for questions, because normally I'm
okay, I'm gonna pretend that I'm your boyfriend's mom.
Okay.
Do I take offense?
Hi, Laura.
I'll be, hi, Summer, how are you? How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. What did you do today?
I went to Valpo and picked up some stuff with my friend Emily.
Oh, you have a friend named Emily. How old is she? What'd she do?
She's 22 and she works at an eye doctor office.
Oh, cool. What's she like? What is she? So do you like only like openly like?
Yeah, I don't like with you like I don't just randomly talk about Max too much because he's my boyfriend. But like I need to be like asked questions to talk about someone. So, but if someone was like describe her, I'd be like, she's funny.
She's funny. That's it.
Just be like, I don't know.
Interesting.
Like, what do you guys do? Like, whatever. We'll do anything.
Okay, I thought. Okay, cool.
I'm sorry. I had that question too, though.
Oh, you
can
did?
show me up. Yeah, what do you say?
Yeah, I say. Well, my first thing I say is, oh, she's more of a sister than she is a friend to me. That's like the biggest thing that I
But
stress.
here's the thing: you talk more openly to people, and I don't. Like, so that's why.
Probably why people think I'm annoying.
People think I'm mean, so like it's fine.
Yeah, but like if people at work. Okay, computer. If people are at work and they're like, "Oh, your best friend Summer," I just go, "Yeah." You know, I look at her as more of a sister. We've been friends for like a really long time, and I just talk about like how good of a friend you are to me. That's like a big thing that I stress, and I'm always like, oh, if I have a problem, the only person I will immediately think of right away to go to is Summer because she just has helped me through a lot. And like, I told them about how your boyfriend was away for work for a while and stuff, and I'm like, I really hope that things are okay. And they're like, and they're always like, oh, how's she doing? I'm like, oh, she's doing okay. I said, I just really hope that things are okay, like working out well for her because like you've been through enough.
Tell my sad story.
I tell a lot of people about. I like talking about other people's lives and
about
stories.
You and be like, I'll more so like make fun of someone for you and be like, oh, they were mean to Emily, so it's okay if I say these mean things because they were mean to her.
Yeah,
so.
But I really stress like, and then it's like you've kind of had a hard time. And so I just wish you would get catch it. No, I don't go into depth. I'm always just like, she just deserves a lot because, you know, she's kind of been through it and it's not fair. It's like when I was like, oh, I'm making sure, like when your grandma passed away and I said, can I make a phone call? And they were like, yeah. And I was talking about it. And I was just like, you know, she doesn't deserve it. And like, I hate that she's going through this. So I kind of just, I guess the biggest thing I talk about is like how important you are to me.
I do the same in my own way.
Yeah. And I do stress about your different hair colors and how I dye your hair different colors.
I do say, like, if anyone's like, oh, your hair looks good, I'll be like, oh, my friend dyed it. Like, I won't ever take the credit for it. I'm like, oh, my friend did it. And they're like, your hair looks so good, you should go to beauty school. I was like, well, I didn't do it, my friend did it.
My next question.
Okay.
Have you ever truly complained about me to Max, your boyfriend, about something I did or say? Like, of course.
What does truly mean?
Like, say, like, I do something and be like, oh my god, Emily says she was so stupid. But was there ever a time, like, something I did or say that you turned to Max and you're like, I am so mad, so annoyed. Like, you had, like, something I did that, like, really frustrated you. Or, like, one night I was, like, really annoying you. And you're like, oh my god, Emily is so annoying tonight. Like, she's not understanding this. Like, was there ever a time you, like, really were like, I can't stand her right now?
Yes, sometimes, yeah.
What do you say? What did you do?
When I was kind of complaining on, like, Mother's Day, like, no one left anything for my grandma. And you're like, well, that's the way that maybe they grieve differently. Like, I'm like, okay, but, like, this is how I'm grieving, so I feel like you should just be like, oh, that sucks, which would have been fine. Instead of trying to defend them, I felt like you were defending them. Well, so I got, like, really salty because it was a fresh wound.
Well, this is why I said that, because when my grandpa passed, it took me a year to see him.
I know.
So the only reason why I said that was because I was like, oh, well, I can't say, well, that's stupid, because then I would be calling myself stupid for being like,
I thought about it later. I was like, it's fine. But at the time, I was like, whatever. It's like,
I remember you're like, okay, I'm done talking now. And I'm like, all right. And I knew you were going through something, so I didn't push for it. So you complained to Max about me today? Yeah. Wow. But no, my reason was because I just, I know. Yeah, okay.
Okay. I legit want to know, why are you so obsessed with Matt Damon, besides the fact that, like, he's cute? Like, I don't understand. I would like to know.
I'm trying to figure out that myself. I want to say, because I'm looking at there was a movie. It was.
Yeah, or like what?
Prompted?
How did it start? Like, all of a sudden, it was very random.
Yes. I think. Okay, this is going to be a little bit of a story. When I was growing up, my dad and I used to go to the movies all the time. We did late night movies. We would always look up a movie we'd want to see, find the latest showing of it, and we'd go to that just because we thought it was fun. And I remember a preview to the movie The Adjustment Bureau. And I was like, I liked the concept of what it was about. I thought it was kind of cool. It was like, what if like the movie's like everyone's fate is decided, and then this one character meets this girl and like goes off their path, and then like fate, which is like this actual like legit group of people like force you to go back onto path and like try to get you back, but you really, long story short. So I remember like, oh yeah, this movie sounds good. I think it was like at Walmart or something, or Twitter. Not Twitter. Walmart or Target or something. And I saw it was on sale. I was like, oh my god, The Adjustment Bureau. I remember wanting to see that like 5 years ago or something. And I got it and I brought it home. I never watched it. And then I went downstairs and was like, Dad, here's the movie. And I put it in and I was like, who's that actor? And it was Matt Damon. And I was like, and as I was watching The Adjustment Bureau, because he was a little bit younger in there. He wasn't at his age now.
This is also like weird because
I remember watching it and I was like, wow, this guy's really cute. Like, I was like, Matt Damon, like, an actor. And then I just kind of went down a rabbit hole of, like, I need to, like, because a lot of it is when I watch a movie with an actor that I think is cute or an actor I think is really good, or even actors that I like or something, I get into this, like, black hole vortex thing where I'm like, I need to research them and I need to watch every movie they're in. I need to make sure I watch it within this week, every movie, and I get like really obsessed with them and like wanting to support them all of a sudden. But this thing with Matt Damon, like I just went down this wormhole of like, oh my god, he's been around for so long, all these movies, and then I saw young photos of him and I was like, oh my god, he's so hot. And I looked at him now, I'm like, he's still so hot. And I was,
so that's the only reason.
Well, no, it's just, and then I was like, what other movies has he been in? And then I saw Good Will Hunting, which I didn't put two and two together, so I watched Good Will Hunting. Then he was in the Bourne movies, and I remember, like, it's always Bourne versus Bond. I've always been a fan of Bond, but I never watched Bourne, and then I watched Jason Bourne, and then I was like, oh my god, it's Matt Damon.
Oh my god, it's Jason Bourne.
That's kind of how it went. And then I went back and I watched movies that I've already seen that he was in there, but I wasn't like
Yeah.
We Bought a Zoo I saw.
Yeah,
and
I
I
saw
liked
that with you.
Colin Ford in there. And like,
more age appropriate.
And I didn't, yeah, at the time. And I didn't like comprehend it was Matt Damon. Then I went to that, and then I saw The Martian, and just kind of snowballed to that. And one thing led to another, and now if I could marry Matt Damon, I would. So that's my in-depth question for that.
Okay.
I guess, yeah, I guess the Adjustment Bureau was the first movie I saw with him that sparked my obsession. Now I have posters and candles. My question for you is, are you afraid to grow up?
Yeah, I think everyone is.
Right.
Like, yeah. Because like, you have to at some point, but you don't have to fully. You just gotta do your adult things and then go home and do your kid things, I guess.
The reason why I ask is because I guess the way you've held yourself, I've always noticed, you don't, when you panic,
yeah.
but you don't panic about things like getting old. You would just panic like, I'm in a crowded room, like, that freaks you out. But, like, you don't really, like, panic. Like, school, of course, but, like, you're never, like me, where I'm like, I can't do this. You never really show that, so I never...
it's so far in the future, I guess you just don't think about next time I'll be 40 and be like, am I old? I don't know, because I didn't think about it. I don't,
like, we were in the car today, and I was talking, like, when we get older, like, and you have kids, are we still gonna, like, hang out like this? And you're like, I don't know, like, we're not there yet. And but, like...
Because that's what you have to do. You just be like, I don't know, we're here today, so that's what's going on today.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. That's good to know.
Okay, and then I was gonna ask what your favorite memory is.
My favorite...
Of our thing, like, what
Together?
Together, yeah.
My favorite memory... That's a tough one, because there's a lot.
Oh, well, yeah, I have a favorite.
Can I come back to that?
I guess that's my last question.
Because my question for you is, when did you know you were addicted to cheese?
I didn't know it was, like, a problem until, like, social media existed, and it was like, you can actually be addicted to cheese because it releases dopamine. Because I used to eat all cheese all the time. Like, you just learned I would make, like, Taco Bell cheesy roll-ups at home. Like, that'd be a snack. Just get a tortilla shell and just throw a bunch of cheese on there. I just eat, like, bricks of, like, Kobe Jack cheese, like, cut into, like, fourths and just eat a fourth at a time. So I guess I didn't know it was an addiction until recently. I've always loved it. I would eat, like, warm cheese. That was, like, years ago. I'd come to your house and be like, can I warm up some cheese in a cup? And yeah.
Favorite memory? My favorite memory of us. See, this is hard, because I don't know which memory I want to talk about.
I don't know.
I guess, I don't know if this is, like, okay, because it's a sad memory,
Oh.
but
like if we like brought us close or whatever.
That's what I'm
yeah, that
thinking.
could count.
There's two that stick out to me, and both are sad.
Well, we got some sad lives.
The first one that I could think of, we're having a panic attack.
I was?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I think I remember this.
I was spending the night one night, and long story short, I was woken up to you crying.
Mm-hmm.
You're having a panic attack because you read a message from someone who ended up moving away and you didn't know, type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember waking up, and I mean, when you wake up out of like a deep sleep, you're kind of like, what happened? What's going on? And this was in high school. And I remember you were crying. And I remember I was looking at you, and I was like, are you crying? I'm like, what's going on? And you're like, you were like, because sometimes when you cry, it sounds like you're laughing like that. You go,
yeah.
And so I thought you were like, I don't know what was going on. Let's just be honest. I was thinking nothing.
We were in the same bed because we were in my parents' bed because they went home.
And so I remember, and I was like, I just was like, are you crying? And I just wanted you to say yes, because like I didn't know if like I needed to call 911. I didn't know what was happening. So finally you're like, yes. And you said the F word. You said, I'm effing crying. And I was like, okay, this is real. So I didn't know what was going on. So I remember I gave you a hug, and then you told me like the situation and everything, and you were just like upset. And that's like the first time I like genuinely saw you that upset.
Yeah.
I would say there was like, I mean, your dog passed away, and I saw you upset, but not too much. But that was like the first time you like really got upset, and I was like, wow, okay, like what do I need to do now to help? And then we kind of just worked from there. And like, it's not a favorite memory of like something good that's happened, but like
it's just something that sticks out.
As like, I feel like that was a turning point. Excuse me, in our friendship. That was kind of like, wow, like I'm like, she felt comfortable crying around me, because like when your dog passed away, you said you were upset,
I don't cry.
and you didn't cry in front of me, and that was like the situation with your dog was tragic, and you didn't cry. So I was like,
I think I cried, but I wasn't like bawling.
Exactly, you weren't like this, and the fact that was like my first time seeing you like that, and it kind of made me realize, like, because I know you don't cry in front of people, and so the fact that you did that in front of me, I was like, she must. Like, not like me enough, but like, she likes me, like, I'm her friend. Like, it wasn't like I wasn't in the moment like, yes, she's crying, good, I finally get this. But like, when I look back on it, it was just kind of like, oh, cool.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I was trying to wake you up.
Were you trying to make me cry, or were you like, wait,
because I was already crying. I was like, I'm not gonna stop. I'll like let her hear me. If it wakes her up, it wakes her up, type thing.
And I'm pretty deep sleeper. So.
I don't think that'd wake you up anymore.
No.
I don't think it would.
I mean, my smoke alarm was going off for 3 hours and I didn't wake up.
Oh my god.
And then another one was, we were in the parking lot of TGI Fridays, and I don't remember who it was, but I messaged someone about going out on a date, and they said no. And I was not on a date. It was this kid in college, one of my classes, that I like tried to ask out on a date, and he basically said no. And I was like, and at that point in college, like, I've never had a boyfriend, never really went on real dates before. And I remember I was like, we got to check at TGI Fridays, and I was like, well, I'm gonna cry in the car now. And you're like, oh gosh, and like we were kind of like joking about it, like in the car, and I was crying, and I remember you were like trying to like make me feel better, and the one thing that stood out was you're like, Emily, I really care about you as a friend. Like, you need to understand, like, you are loved. I care about you. And you're like, I love you. We're like, and like, we aren't very serious with each other. But that was one point where you're laughing, but you're like, I love you, Emily. Like, you have to understand, you're my friend. I love you. And I was like, thanks. And so like, that was like another one. I was like,
yeah, I don't really remember that. But
I remember that. You do. Yeah. If we want more lighthearted, I guess we should have been like, Universal!
She just threw up a peace sign, so that's how you know that's good.
But I'm trying to think. Oh, I remember one was, we were at your mom's, now ex-boyfriend's house. It was, not pep rally, homecoming. And we just were like hanging out at your house. It was senior year of high school. We took that picture with your cat, and I'm like,
oh yeah. I don't know, right? That was just watching like a Lifetime movie. That kind of
it was just like, it was kind of fun though. We were just hanging out there. That was a good memory. I'm trying to think, what was your favorite memory of us?
I like vaguely remember going with you somewhere. I think it was like someone's house to swim. And I remember I always loved swimming and I never got to swim and you wanted to take me swimming. I was like, yeah. And I just remember I think we were like pretending to be mermaids and just like swimming in this
Oh my god,
in this
yes!
above ground pool. It wasn't like a nice pool or anything. But
You know whose house that was?
No.
That was Adam's.
Was it?
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's a family friend. She said we can have people. Like, she didn't say we could, but like, I asked Mom and she's like, yeah, they'd be okay with that. And I remember I was like, do you want to go swimming?
Yeah. And you asked me about swimming, like, heck.
I didn't know you liked swimming. I just wanted you to come with because I wanted a friend.
I remember that. And then, like, the last day of 7th grade or 8th grade when it was like we were outside and we were all just like hanging out. Like, it was like field day, but not really. And then I remember going and I was like, you want to go get like our iPod touches? And you're like, oh, we're going to get trouble. I was like, no, we're not. And so I remember going to get it and then like just listening to music and like being carefree, man.
That was fun.
Those were good times.
I wish we had more carefree moments. Like, we just like didn't do any. We didn't crave it. It's just like, any other memories you could think of?
I mean, those are good. Those are good. I got happy ones. I can think of the sad ones, but I don't.
Well, quick question: any moment where you're like a turning point where you're like, wow, we're friends? Like, mine were that just discussed. Was there anything that like stood out to you where it's like, that's my friend. Like, I'm proud she's my friend, or like, I'm glad she's my friend type of thing.
I guess when I would get you to do, like, not break the rule, because, like, they would break when I would get you to do things that you're like, I don't know, we're gonna get in trouble. Like, no, we're not. Like, if I got you to, like, come into my math class, I think in high school, and you're like, and I'm like, well, what are you doing?
Those last days of school,
and you're like, nothing, and I'm like, I'm doing nothing, too. You can come over here, and it's fine. Like, just when you would do things like
that. I was just always nervous to get in trouble type of thing.
But then you trusted me. I was like, you're not gonna get in trouble. It's fine. It's not like we're gonna get drugs and like we're fine.
Exactly.
You're just coming into my classroom.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that was our first episode. We were kind of I'm not gonna lie, I was a little nervous. I wasn't sure how we would go with it and how I would be.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, we're gonna try to just kind of a brief overview of what we're planning is we're gonna try to do some seasons. So our first season is gonna be a lot of
getting to know us, so
we feel comfortable and we feel comfortable and my goal is for us to just make us all seem like we're a bunch of friends and just kind of share our experience and appreciate friendship in different aspects. And that's it. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at the BFC_podcast to stay up to date with the latest content.
And you can continue listening to us right here on YouTube.